Hello friends and welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host Tom Downey and clothing provided again today by Kashiyama the Smart Tailor. We're going to dive into a little preview here of the Cowboys and the Saints and then of course break down the injuries around both teams. The Cowboys are the road favorite this weekend going on the road to play the New Orleans Saints. They are a 2.5 point favorite in this one. You kind of see the records and, of course, the scoring offense and defense on there. The Cowboys, top 5 in both stats, even though maybe it hasn't quite feel like that's actually the case so far. So do me a favor, but everybody watching here right now, like this video if you think the Cowboys are going to beat the Saints. I will get to my prediction later on, plus a special guest prediction as well. But let me know. Give me a like there if you think the Cowboys are going to win this weekend on the road against New Orleans and improve to 4-0. As promised, now some injury report notes. We'll dive more in depth on Amari Cooper here in just a second, but Tavon Austin has returned to practice in a limited fashion. I will list him as questionable because it is still only Thursday. He could have, regression. It's a very complicated system in general with the way the concussion protocol works and the way concussions work, so he's questionable. But I would bet he plays. Tyrone Crawford, he wants to play, but he has not practiced both Wednesday and Thursday, so I'm not saying he's out. I'm saying I'd be a little bit surprised if Crawford plays, but there is a chance. Michael Gallup, though, he's not going to play. And then Kevon Frazier, who interestingly, Wednesday, it popped up on the injury report as a not injury related, and then today, it popped up as an Achilles issue. So I'll put him as questionable. I think there's a decent chance he plays, but if it's close, maybe they go with a healthier safety, say Donovan Wilson, and make Frazier one of the inactives. So just monitor that page there. But Cooper, I know, was the big one. Got a lot of mentions, a lot of crazy stuff there. Everyone calm down. That's my biggest point here with Amari Cooper. Okay, I know he had the MRI on Wednesday, and people see MRI injury, they go, oh shit. Everyone freaks out. It's fine. It was precautionary. It came back fine. They'll continue to kind of be cautious with Cooper in practice, but there's no indication right now that we should be concerned. Now, if you want to have it at the back of your mind, sure, that's fine. That's why he's probable not playing on the injury report, and I think he was limited again today. But I'm not really that concerned right now with Amari Cooper. I think he'll be fine. And his production so far, despite dealing with that plantar fasciitis, clearly a lesser one than, say, Cam Newton's, for example. And he's fine. 16 receptions, 238 yards, 4 touchdowns already this year. I'm not too concerned about that. Amari Cooper remains your number 1 wide receiver. There will be no Michael Gallup. I assume Tavon Austin will handle most of the number 2 roles then. I think you get Tavon Austin back this week. You're still going to use Randall Cobb. You also have Cedric Wilson as an available option for you as well. But be honest with me. Okay, this is a safe space. It's fine. How worried were you guys when you saw the injury news about Amari Cooper that he had the MRI? I'm not going to lie to you. Because of the way the initial tweet was worded, they had me in the first half where they kind of left out, they kind of buried the lead of he's fine. So when I first saw it, I kind of freaked out, and then I finished the tweet. So it was a very brief worry, and then it's like, oh, this is like a 1 or a 2. So be honest, it's okay. It's a safe space. As this is how worried were you back then, not right now. I understand if there was some cause for concern. Some more injury notes here on the Dallas Cowboys. Luke Gifford, he is going to be questionable. He has, though, returned to practice in a limited capacity, a very good sign there. I will make note with Gifford, even if he's healthy, they might not make him active. If he's, say, at 90%, hell, might just go with 100% healthy elsewhere. So I think that makes some sense there. Antwaun Woods, I don't think he goes. He did not participate again. I think he might need 1 more week. In theory, they need more snaps for Tristan Hill, too. Assuming Crawford also does not go there, but we'll see on those guys. Zach Martin, I'm going to bump him up to questionable. He was limited on Wednesday, did not participate Thursday. Sounds like it's more of just a rest management type thing, which is fine. But I am going to watch to see what happens tomorrow on Friday. If he's at least limited there, I won't be concerned. If he's a no-go on Friday too, then I'm going to be kind of worried there. I'm not panicking on Zach Martin yet. I think he'll be fine. I will make note, if Martin can't go, Xavier Su'a-Filo is the next man up at right guard. And then there's Xavier Woods. Clearly, the ankle injury is not as bad as first reported. Was limited in practice on Wednesday and on Thursday. Woods thinks he's going to be able to go. He worked with the second team yesterday. I think he has a good shot to play as well, assuming, of course, there aren't any setbacks. I think that's the biggest thing for Xavier Woods for tomorrow and even just into the weekend with the walkthroughs and everything. So I think there's a good chance Xavier Woods plays. I don't know if it's even going to be 100% of the snaps. It might be more of a let's bring him on the field on passing downs potentially. Like obvious passing downs. Kind of give him the Byron Jones treatment from week 1 where he plays, but he's not always out there the entire time. So Woods will be listed as the starter here. We will make the asterisk of him being injured. If he can't go, Marion Thompson is the next man up. We'll see what happens there with Donovan Wilson. But those are your Cowboys injury updates. All right, guys, look who is back on the Cowboys Report. It is Mick from Kashiyama. Mick, thank you so much for stopping by again.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we'll get into our NFC East preview, but first, Mitchell Renz here was telling me he didn't need a new suit. I said, hey, go down, visit Mick Kashiyama. He said, no, I'm fine. This is what his suit looks like right now. So everyone in the comments section, who has a better suit and a better look right now? Type A for Mitch, B for me. I know you're all going to type in B because it's very obvious, but Mick, what's going on here with Mitch?
I mean, if I can be frank, it looks like shit.
Okay. Only if I can be Sammy and producer Alicia can be Dean. But yeah, I think that's pretty fair there. So if you guys have bad suit photos, text them to Mick right now at 214-448-9037. You're excited to see these, aren't you?
I am thrilled to see these.
All right, let's move on now to our NFC East preview. Week 4, the Thursday night football matchup. Eagles on the road against the Green Bay Packers. I know some of you were confused about who to cheer for. I saw it on Twitter. Guys, you cheer for the Packers. Eagles at 1-3 is great for the Cowboys. But, Mick, you've got the Packers winning this one, huh?
I do indeed. 24-16. I think the handful of Eagles fans that you've got watching out there are hoping for a bounce back after last week's dismal performance, but I don't see it happening. Love the Packers at home on the short week, and their defense has been great.
It's been really impressive so far. They are a 4-point favorite tonight on Thursday Night Football. All right, now we have an NFC East rivalry game. The Redskins at the New York Giants. Giants seem to be on the way up because they just won a game. The Redskins maybe not so much. What are you expecting from this one?
I mean, how about that rookie QB, though, in his initial start on the road? So I am absolutely going to have to go with the Giants here, 31-14.
Now, I think Cowboys fans, you want to cheer for the Redskins. I'm not really sure how much it matters in the end. I guess if the Giants get to 2-2 and you're right on your prediction, that makes them better. But do we really worry that much about the Giants at all?
Not looking like it.
I don't think so. Now, a reminder, folks, Kashiyama does have locations in all of the NFC East cities. Dallas, New York City, D.C., plus Boston, Charlotte, and, of course, Philadelphia for you Eagles fans out there who just can't get enough of the Cowboys Report. You hate the Cowboys so much, you just keep watching. So thank you very much. Click on the ads. All right, finally now, the Cowboys matchup on the road against the Saints, the first real test of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'll remind you, Mick, if you pick against the Cowboys, I don't think you're going to be allowed back on the show. So what's your prediction?
Well, the Saints coming off of a huge road win, I think that they are going to be primed for a letdown here and right for the picking for the boys.
Okay,
I think
like
Zeke is going to have a big day.
I like that.
So I'm going 28-17 Cowboys.
All right, reminder, guys, everybody text Mick your score predictions. I know some of you have already got them in the comments section. Thank you very much. But you also got to get them to Mick at 214-448-9037. If you get it right, $100 to a free. So you had what, like, how many texts last week?
I got almost 150 texts last
there
week,
you go.
so quite a few of you have some serious input.
All right, guys, so reminder, text Mick at 214-448-9037. Get your score predictions in. As they do that, Mick, why don't you tell them why Kashiyama is the best?
Absolutely. So being made to measure, it is going to be specific to you. So we are not going to have you leaving looking like Mitch. going to be looking like Tom here. Also, the price points are absolutely fantastic, between $300 and $800, and delivered directly to you. So very quick and wonderful appointment. If you do come in and purchase from me too, you might be able to get a guest spot.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll bring you on, answer a question, and get your score prediction. And either way, guys, text Mick your score prediction and your bad fitting suits at 214-448-9037. And yes, you can throw your friends under the bus like we did here with Mitch. Keep those score predictions coming. In the meantime, guys, take a look at the Saints injury report here. Terran Armstead, he's probably going to play. I would assume he plays. I'd be surprised if he didn't. He's been limited practice all week. Drew Brees, as I'm sure we all know, he's out. He's not going to be able to give it a go this week, not for several weeks. More on Teddy Bridgewater later on. Will Clapp, backup, he's questionable. Not a huge deal there either way. Zach Lyon, I think he's able to go as well. Then some more interesting ones here. I think Larry Wofford's also able to go for the Saints, but Sheldon Rankins has not played yet this year, but he has been limited at practice. If he's able to come back, that's a huge boost for the Saints defensive line. He's very underrated, a former first-round pick. And Traquan Smith, I'm going to put him as questionable. He didn't play last week. If I had to guess, I don't think he plays, but it's still only Thursday, early in the week, so we'll see what happens there. But, of course, the big one is no Drew Brees, and that's led to a change in the Saints' offense, namely ALVIN KAMARA, or KAMARA. He says both is fine. You can pronounce it however you want, kind of like how it's Tyrod Taylor and Tyrod Taylor. But as I'm sure we all know, last year, Jordan Lewis helped shut down ALVIN KAMARA. Now, the Saints, though, have changed the way they're using him with Drew Brees out. So the key to beating the Saints without Drew Brees is limiting KAMARA. Take a look at how the Saints' offense has changed in comparison to when the Cowboys played the Saints last year. That's the then, and then the now. ALVIN KAMARA last week against the Seattle Seahawks. The Saints have tried to limit KAMARA's touches and reps. They had Mark Ingram last year. They signed Latavius Murray this year. KAMARA last year barely played 69% of the snaps. Nice. And had just 36 total yards in both rushing and receiving. Against the Seahawks, not a defensive slouch, by the way. Almost 88% of the snaps, a pretty massive amount. 25 touches, more rush yards, more receiving yards, and 2 total touchdowns. Now, we saw Jordan Lewis help shut down KAMARA, which reminds me, spam this in the comments section. Can I get a free Jordan? Now, you guys know I'm a big fan of Jordan Lewis, but I also know that the Cowboys, for silly reasons, I think, don't play him as much as they should. The Cowboys used Jordan Lewis so much last year in a dime package. I think you might see more of that again this week. But ALVIN KAMARA is no longer just out there for 60% of the or 70% of the plays. He's gone up in his workload. And that means he'll probably have more plays where KAMARA is out there without Jordan Lewis on the field. But give me a free Jordan in the comments section, please. Now, the player to watch for me, at least on the Saints side of the ball, that's Teddy Bridgewater. He is the starter with Drew Brees out. I think you have to remember that there's always the threat of some Taysom Hill availability, but Bridgewater was almost the only quarterback out there for the Saints. So the Taysom Hill package was just that. It was a package, not a full-fledged offense there. But the Saints offense, they dialed it back for Bridgewater in a big, big way. Some have complained before about the Dink and Dak offense. Even if that was a thing, that's nothing compared to the Saints offense under Teddy Bridgewater. These are the 2019 stats here between Dak Prescott and Teddy Bridgewater. Dak Prescott leads the NFL in completion percentage. Bridgewater's no slouch, but he's still a full 10% behind. QBR, the ESPN stat. Dak Prescott, number 1. Teddy Bridgewater at 40, kind of more middle of the pack. Here's the big one. The average depth of target. Basically, how far downfield are these quarterbacks throwing the ball on each pass? Dak Prescott is in the top 7, and 2 of those guys are Miami quarterbacks at just under 10. Teddy Bridgewater is dead last in the NFL at just above 5 yards. It's all short passes. There's nothing deep downfield. They get the ball out quickly. And then the expected completion percentage, Dak Prescott, number 1. He's been that accurate at almost 10% growth. Teddy Bridgewater, minus 6.5. So with all those things in mind, the KAMARA, the Bridgewater, the injury report stuff, guys, make your score predictions. Go ahead and text Mick, too, like we mentioned, 214-448-9037. Get it right. $100 towards a suit from Kashiyama. And put them in the comments section, too. Here's my prediction. I got the Cowboys winning 27-21. I thought about this because it's a 3-point spread, or it opened at 3, now 2.5. I was actually a little bit surprised that the Cowboys were favored on the road, especially after the Saints beat Seattle on the road. Makes me think, hey, Vegas knows the Cowboys are going to win. Even producer Alicia's on board here, a little bit closer, but she has the Cowboys winning and covering 27-24. So, folks, keep those score predictions flowing in here. And don't forget, text Mick your score prediction as well at 214-448-9037. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.